I'd like to introduce you to some coins that nobody saw before. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. This is something like a penny. Not quite, but look it up. I don't know what fell down. Oh, it has something to do with gravity and so forth. This, see, is a 1 penny coin. Ein Pfennig. And maybe I'll arrange that a little differently so you know how that's written. But see, everything would fall down here. And we don't want that, do we? I mean, no, we don't. This is a 2 Pfennig coin. And I'll write it down. Maybe you never saw them before, because they are really, really ancient. At least twice your age. Maybe. Let's see. Bundesrepublik Deutschland. And it's made of copper. This is made of see, it's a 5. And I'm still trying to. So, see, this is from 1950. Oh, why don't you train your eyes a little? See, it works. Your eyes are trained already. I just put those down here, those weights, so everything won't slide down. This is because I think we'll have to work together when it comes to the metric system and our misunderstanding, and you're not the only ones who may not understand that. You were just not taught it right, and we didn't even try, maybe not the proper way. And I'm trying to change that. Maybe you'd like to help me. No, not the. I don't mean the measurements and so forth. I mean that we understand what the metric system means. It doesn't just mean can you count 10 fingers, because not everybody is that lucky. Let's see. This is yours. I brought it back from the States. So you may have a kind of an idea. And I think that's a good idea. To just compare some things. because it's getting a bit more interesting. And see, Bank Deutscher Länder. And they were only produced until then. And I have them in 1948 and 1949. And then that stopped. And people call that Bundesrepublik Deutschland. Can you see that? Yes, I'll try to find something like something you can measure stuff with. And I have no idea why they aren't that shiny yet, although they should be, because it's copper and worth a lot. Because people have no idea about the worth of money anymore. Yeah, well, they just comprehend stuff worth. It's worth by having a piece of plastic in their pocket, and that's it. What's your date of birth? One day you may say so. Because when they stopped printing those, people try to, collect them. Or at least keep part of their childhood. Because you could buy candy. Back then, they didn't have that giant masses of candy in what kind of ever container. They would buy a licorice and that powder you can use to produce soda with your friends. And it was always special. All little pipe-like things and maybe chewing gum in the way of cigarettes. And of course, we didn't smoke that. We chewed on that. Look at that. That is also has a meaning of something very important. Something growing. Something is growing. And the only woman I couldn't find it right now was planting. I mean, it's a 50-cent, 50 Pfennig. See, those are Pfennige. That would be something that was, I mean, the plural of Pfennig is Pfennige. And the only one who planted the first red was a woman on the 50 penny coin. And you can see that those coins, they have something here that you need to buy. If you want to bake bread, and this is a tree, because everything needed to grow again, and nobody forgot about how precious that is. And just to be fair, I will change that and toss it around. Well, I think we could start by this. And at the same time, we could become less ignorant and start to compare the measurements. The metric system always is about tens, like 10 fingers. There was always some indicator that you could use. If you wanted to count something. And then they used sticks, and they just had an indicator for counting their sheep, for instance. I think we could count together all kinds of people come together and tell us what they kind of coins they have, and remember if they still can find one and what they did with them, and if they have some special candy they remember. What children do. Sometimes we collected them and could take them to the bank once a year, and we would get a little present. I don't know what the people really thought, but they always were nice. Although they had to count those things, and they might have been exhausted after a day like that, when all the children came in and brought their coins, and maybe even something way more important. The money that didn't... Oh. Well, you could... each of them were worth a lot to us, because we couldn't always keep them. Sometimes it was just too tempting to eat some candy with our friends, or buy some comic books. Oh, excuse me. You see that? I'll make them even shinier. And see when the money changed from here to that. And we thought that was fascinating. Yes, and also not in this house, but they kept will be cherished, and even the coins from other countries are worth a lot. And they unite us because they're worth lives, they're worth having something to drink, and fun, and friends, and entertaining things like us and our friends. I know. I should have done that more properly. But first things first. And if you couldn't read something like Bank Deutscher Länder, you just have to find an equivalent like baby, for example. Eh. Because some people can't say that, they believe. But yes, they can, and you proved it. Everybody can prove it. Because nobody here is a dumb person. They can train it, as everybody has to. See, there must be an A with some... See, I don't want to toss a shadow on this. Umlaut, like, well, you know what that looks like. But sometimes I wonder, of course you could say that. Like an O with those dots. You could use something that sounds familiar, like bird, or something like that. I think I have to find a better solution. But it's a start. It's a start, and I'm glad that I could show you some of that. And there you could see it. The coin from 1949. Over there. Oh nein, bitte nicht. Halt, stopp. Da. I thought that would fall down. And it will, pretty soon. No. I have no idea if that makes sense. But it always makes sense to learn something new. As you found out already. Why shouldn't everybody else get the same chance? I think that's pretty interesting. I could do it, but why shouldn't I do it for everybody else? And maybe I could try to do something like this for everybody. I mean, who's interested in that? Because those things, the coins, are more welcome than a piece of paper or plastic. Because you can prove or guess or put a weight on the scale. And even, yes, it's about history. See, some Romans had some trouble when they invaded all of Europe because they tried to take some of that metal away by filing it off. So, well, I have to check that again, and I don't want to say something that is not really proven. At least they didn't only guess, they really checked it. And makes sense in a way, because if you just use it on the file, it makes sense. Because some people had a kind of interest in that metal. Of course they did. And they tried to give that to other people and get the same amount that it was worth before, to just get some goods. I mean, they thought they were clever, but if they were caught, they were in trouble. So, well, is that a good idea or not? What do you think? I'm talking to everybody. And of course, I'm talking about James. Because he is always interested in everything that goes on and makes everybody else smarter, or listen to their opinion, and I think we could give something back. That is something that I absolutely, well, that's the word, agree with. I'm not stuttering here. I'm just a bit of a difference in a different situation, because I don't really want to collect those coins and give them to the bank once a year, because they would slide in. Oh my lord. Let's try that. Why not? Why not? You don't have to adopt that. You just could show us. Show the world how you spend that money. What it looked like. What it meant to you. How much fun you had when you spent it and bought something that you immediately had to share with your friends and or just ate all by yourself and then had a ball. I mean, a real feast. And how much money you would get in what kind of amount of time. As a kind of, I mean, what it meant to you when you got something each day or each month. And maybe a recipe. Because, admit it, I mean, hey, something you didn't do have to work for yourself sometimes tastes slightly different, and maybe you could read something and then, hey, share it with your friends, or God knows what it is. You could share it. You don't have to give it to us. Just share the experiences. That would be a great gift. And interesting. And a piece of history. And that makes us understand how much it means to you. Or meant to you. Go for it. Just one coin. Let's say this here. Because that was the ultimate thing. Because my friend would come over and we could go to the little store around the corner. I mean, at the corner. And buy something that you could mix with water. And of course, we enjoyed the taste. We didn't really chat and we just had a great time. And don't be greedy. Just be nice and share a thought and a memory. Wouldn't that be something? Yay, it would. Bye-bye, and greetings from Germany.